I ain't trying to say Beyonce trying to copy over me, but
CECRED Hair and Scalp Balm is a solid balm to oil formula.
no, I'm just playing. In this video, I'm answering this question right here. You wanted to know what I thought about their new salve, and it was funny to me because prior to my salve, I haven't heard of too many brands talking about it, but I digress. Let's talk about Beyonce salve and what I think about it, seeing that Cynple Apothecary has a salve coming back out in the fall. 2 salves. So let's get into it. Now, for one, even when you look at the video that I have on salves, the link in the description box below, I'm very descriptive about what I think about salves and if I think they belong on the scalp or off the scalp. And I'm extremely clear that salves are for treatment purposes only, meaning after they're applied, they're only left on for a certain amount of time and then shampooed off with a clarifying shampoo after a scrub. But let's keep going on the why, because even though there are a lot of pros of salves, the cons make them so it is not a favorable environment for the scalp. Remember the conversation we had about plaque? Let's get into it.
Hi, my name is Dr. Carey. Without regular moisture, the scalp can become dry and flaky, leading to discomfort. CECRED Hair and Scalp Balm is a solid balm to oil formula. In this video, we'll walk through how to use the hair and scalp balm to soothe the scalp, soften strands, and support protective styling prep. Unlike traditional greases or oils, this balm melts into the scalp and strands with no residue, locks in moisture, and helps soothe the scalp, preventing dryness. Whether you're prepping for a protective style, wearing a wig, dealing with dry ends, need tension relief, or relief from style-related itchiness, this balm is for you. Your do-it-all balm to oil salve. Here's why it works. Powered by phytoferment, our hair and scalp balm protects and soothes the scalp moisture barrier before going into an extension or protective style. Our African oil blend deeply nourishes the scalp and strands, adding a natural shine to the hair. This multitasker is also great for blending your leave out with wigs or weaves, softening dry ends, taming flyaways, and relieving any style-related itchiness or tension. Ceramides and honey help protect the scalp's moisture barrier. Here's how to use it. This formula melts from balm to oil when you rub your fingers together. Apply to the scalp before or after braiding. It can also be used on dry ends to prevent breakage. Work the balm through the hair before braiding to soften strands and improve manageability, or blend leave out for wigs and weaves. Apply the balm to damp hair before blow drying to moisturize and soften strands. Whether you're prepping, styling, or simply soothing the scalp, CECRED Hair and Scalp Balm delivers moisture where it matters most, without buildup or compromise. Thanks for watching.
So, rich balms packed with waxes, triglycerides, oils, and this salve has so many ingredients and so many different oils with a wide variation of heat points, hot points, boiling points. With these triglycerides, these oils, these fragrance, antigens, and all of the things, and they end up filling and blocking the hair's follicle. This is going to feed and increase the dandruff linked to the microbes that live on the scalp. This also will amplify heat damage on the fibers, because when you add an oil like coconut oil or sunflower seed oil, and this salve has all of these oils within it, right? When you heat it up to a certain level, even with a blow dryer, what you end up doing is causing oxidation. So what happens is once those oils end up oxidizing and creating oxidation on the follicle, then inflammation happens. So you induce inflammation as you're putting the braids in, and then covering peppering the scalp with even more oil, right, with even more of this salve to block the pores and the follicles. So the result is more flaking, more irritation, and long-term cuticle damage if you make this your regular pattern. Let's say your regular pattern is getting braids. If every single time you get braids you use this salve as something before you blow dry your hair, girl, you're doing way more harm than good. But I digress. Some of the common oils within this is coconut oil, argan oil, olive oil, castor oil, many other seed oils, fragrance, essential oils, and so many other key constituents. To be honest with you, I have never seen a salve with this many ingredients. It's actually kind of crazy. It's great for shine, but when we're talking about the level of microbes that it is feeding in your scalp, it is completely off the charts. When you add this to the scalp, yes, it's going to give you amazing shine, but when we're talking about the balance of your scalp's microbiome, this is going to take it through the roof. Like, it's like old country buffet for your scalp and its microbes. Really? And like, since when, I know that the field of cosmetology has went downhill, but since when have we leaned on stars and people for hair, girl? So pomades under prolonged use end up creating microcomedones, which are tiny plugs within the hair follicle. They look like this. These are tiny plugs of keratin. These are tiny plugs of keratin plus lipids that are blocking the hair follicle. This is going to block the normal follicle flow, the sebum that wants to come out, any sweat that wants to come out, your skin cell turnover cycle, all of the things. Classic dermatology work shows the formation of these comedones after just weeks of using pomades repetitively. Newer reviews are still citing pomades as the source of these comedones and these plugs in the scalp. If you look at the video that I did with another scientist, we talked about that. We talked about plaque within the follicle. This is the same thing. And if you don't believe it, there are so many different studies that have been done. And when I tell you they've been studying this for so long, it was in the 1970s. I remember the article that I read, it pissed me off. It was like Negro follicles, Negro hair. Like, they've been doing studies on black people filling up the scalp and greasing the scalp for decades, right? For years. So since the 70s and before the 70s, I have proof right here, link in the description box below, read it yourself. They knew in the 70s and before then that black people were not supposed to oil and grease the scalp, and they just let y'all do it. And guess what? They're like, okay, they want to oil and grease their scalp. Who gives a shit? We'll make products for them. Because your favorite Blue Magic, all of y'all favorite products, none of these products were made by black people. They were made by the same people who did the studies that know that you're not supposed to have that stuff on your scalp, but they'll give it to you because that's what you want. So why does this matter for the scalp? Some of you already know what I'm gonna say, but I'll say it again. When follicular openings are blocked by pomades, waxes, whatever you want to use that is comedogenic, meaning it's gonna block the pores or the follicle, sebum cannot exit the pore. It can't, and it can't coat the hair shaft in any way, shape, or form because it's blocked the follicle. This leaves your mid-length to edge dry while your scalp and your follicle stay inflamed and caked up with mist. So most black women are in this dandruff loop. And again, look at the studies that I have in the description box below. You're in the dandruff loop because you think dandruff is dry scalp. Dandruff is not dry scalp. Dandruff is oily scalp, and the more products you put on the scalp, you throw off that level and you increase the body's immune system, right? Because your follicle's immune privilege. Your follicle is not supposed to be seen by the immune system, but when you begin to oil and butter and grease the scalp, you induce inflammation and you trigger your body's immune system to begin attacking the follicle that was invisible to it before. So your oils, your greases, and your butters actually remove the immune privilege that your follicle has. The scalp's most dominant version of yeast is Malassezia yeast. I'm sure you've heard of it. That yeast eats the sebum and any other oil or any other butter that you put on the scalp, and then its byproduct of that is oleic acid, and the oleic acid actually does a couple of things for the scalp, but if left there too long, it causes way more harm than good. So if oleic acid is left on the scalp, it ends up turning into dandruff, right? And dandruff is just when your skin cell turnover cycle is thrown off. So by you putting this product on the scalp, in theory, it may seem like it's making it better, but I can guarantee you, after you use this on your scalp is gonna start looking dry, and then you're gonna go run to another oil to put on your scalp after you use this, and it won't be because your scalp is dry. It's simply because you've thrown off the skin cell turnover cycle and given yourself dandruff. And most black women think it's dry scalp. It's not. You're stuck in a loop. You grease and butter your scalp, and you're gonna start using this new Beyonce grease, and you using that on your scalp, and then you're going to be still stuck in that dandruff cycle. But guess what? Most likely Beyonce has an oil too. So she's selling you the issue, right? And then giving you the solution all in one. That's why y'all are always in a never ending cycle. Drunk in oil. It goes from dandruff to seborrheic dermatitis, because seborrheic dermatitis is just an excessive version of dandruff, and there are many studies that support these findings. Make sure you check the link in the description box below. And basically the studies show that laying triglyceride rich oils at the scalp actually do way more harm than good. They are fuel for the Malassezia yeast, leading to dandruff and seborrheic dermatitis. If you go and talk to almost any woman who has dandruff or seborrheic dermatitis, I can guarantee you oils, butters, greases, something has been present on the scalp. And when you talk to a woman who no longer has it, I can almost guarantee you she stopped using the oils, the greases, and the butters, but I digress. So this is the normal temperature for blow dryers and flat irons, the normal temperature that they operate in. However, for this reason, we always use a leave-in conditioner. Why? The leave-in conditioner acts as the heat protection for our blow dryer, along with a couple of other things. I love to use Cynple for an example, because when you go on their website and you look at their leave-in conditioner, it shows you that it has heat protection for up to 450 degrees. If leave-in conditioner is not used, the proper leave-in conditioner, you end up really destroying, or at least introducing the hair shaft to the beginning stages of destroying the hair's cuticle, because it's known or used to smooth and close the cuticle. But if it's not used properly, if the proper products are not used, it'll end up doing the opposite. It can completely lift and destroy and break down the hair's cuticle if the right products are not used, which leads me to why this claim that Beyonce's new little salve is great on the hair is ridiculous. With Cynple Apothecary holding 2 salves, I can also tell you that using my salves as something before a blowout is the worst thing that you can do. When an unsaturated oil sits on the hair shaft and interacts with oil and a flat iron that's heating it past hot point, they oxidize into active compounds that end up damaging the protein barrier and all of the fibers that make up your hair shaft. Putting oil on your hair in any way, shape, or form, and then using a blow dryer or a flat iron is the equivalent to cooking chicken. It's the same thing. There are many controlled studies, which I will also link in the description box below within my blog post, that list these exact things happening when the cuticle is slowly but surely deteriorated by somebody who's using a blow dryer or a flat iron and oil in conjunction together, because it's not something that's supposed to happen. So the claim that adding this salve to your hair before you blow dry is going to be something amazing is absolutely ridiculous. This combination will not only block your follicles, leading to plaque formation like we talked about in that live lecture that I did. It'll also cause seborrheic dermatitis and so many other things. Way more cons than pros. I actually don't know. Regardless, heating up unsaturated oils on the scalp create oxidative stress that lead to so many hair shaft and hair follicle disorders. And the thing is, this video that I did, link in the description box, it was a reaction, it was funny, but the majority of the women in those videos are older black women who've been oil and greasing and buttering the scalp forever, who've been blow drying with Blue Magic and oxidating oils within the scalp that's led to oxidative stress that leads to all of this balding. Girl, I'm trying to tell you, girl, nobody want to listen to me. When you use, bottom line, when you are using an oil to flat iron or blow dry your hair, you're literally baking the lipids into the hair shaft, causing so much follicle damage, so much cuticle damage, so much hair shaft damage. Like, if y'all want to use it, go ahead. This video isn't like, oh, don't use Beyonce stuff. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, like, if Beyonce decided that tomorrow she was gonna start delivering babies part-time, are all of y'all gonna go to Beyonce as y'all OBGYN, even though y'all know she ain't been to nobody's medical school? Like, it's so weird. And even though I love a trichologist, seeing that, hello, I'm not gonna sit here and play with y'all and act like in America it's different in other countries, but in America you can take a course for a week and be a trichologist. So just because it says trichologist behind their name does not mean that everything that comes out of their mouth is Bible verse. It doesn't. Quiet as it's kept, most trichologists don't have the hands-on experience with repeated patterns and routines as a cosmetologist does. Why? Because a cosmetologist may not get trained on all of the different forms of scalp disorders and hair shaft disorders that a trichologist does, but a trichologist gets none of the training that a cosmetologist gets. None of it. So when we're talking about a trichologist focus is on scalp disorders and hair shaft disorders. That is the focus, not product formulation. No, absolutely not. Not in the way that the blow dryer is going to react with the oils and the greases and the butters. No, absolutely not. It is the study of scalp follicle infections, hair shaft disorders, and yes, some treatment. But again, in seeing all of these different ingredients, please explain to me what about this salve, using it in the way that you're describing, is treatment wise. Now, if we're talking about my salves, and I'll leave the release date in the description box below, but this is not to sell my product because it's not even available right now, right? But when I have two salves. One salve is with blue butterfly pea flower, right? That salve is very, very, very specific. It has a very, very specific use, even on my website, right? The use for that one is to induce skin cell turnover, right? So if you are a person who is, you know, just leaving Team Natural, or you're just now starting a new journey and you have had your skin cell turnover cycle off for whatever reason, like let's maybe say you've been greasing and buttering and oiling your scalp for decades and your skin cell turnover cycle is all out of whack, then my blue butterfly pea flower salve will be one that will help you to reset that hair growth cycle. you're not applying that to the scalp like butter and then walking away. No, you apply it to the scalp. It sits on for no longer than 30 minutes under a heated cap. And then it's shampooed out with first a scrub and then a detox clarifying shampoo, then a moisturizing shampoo or whatever shampoo you need depending on your porosity, right? And then my second salve is one wormwood and black walnut hull and clove, right? So that one is to kill the overgrowth of yeast and bacteria and Demodex mites on the scalp, the overgrowth of yeast and bacteria on the scalp, to balance everything out. This is a salve that you would use, that I recommend, or that my clients use after they take braids out. Let's say you're coming out of a protective style, you're taking out braids, and it's freaking amazing to use. Like I always tell them, and of course I'll do a video showing you how to do it. Let's say you have braids in your hair, you'll use the salve in between the braids and then let it sit for those 15 minutes covered. You have not added any water, no nothing, and you let that sit for about 30 minutes, and then you begin to take your braids down. The easiest takedown you will ever experience in your life. But then after that, you detangle, detox with the scrub, clarifying shampoo it out, moisturizing shampoo, shickala boom, shickala bam. There we go. That's how it's done. But to use this salve with this many freaking oils and key constituents in it and just leave it on the scalp, it is a recipe for dandruff. And again, I can guarantee you, everything works. Again, everything works until it doesn't. It's gonna be real cute and real nice at first, but I can guarantee you, your scalp's gonna start flaking, and you're also gonna go and have to use more oil, maybe even the oil that she has for you. So again, I'm not telling you what to do or what not to do. You can do whatever you want. Be drunk in your salve. I don't know. I'm not telling you what to do. So Beehive, all of y'all, don't be coming for me. Don't come in my comments. I'm just letting you know it's not really smart. So you go ahead, you do that, and I just want to know in the comments, like, are y'all offended yet? Like, how come every time somebody want to make black women something, why don't they ever make y'all anything like scientifically relevant that y'all actually need? They just gonna keep giving y'all greases, butters, and all types of shit, huh? That's what I think about it. I love y'all. I hope I can find a comment of who asked me to do it, because I really don't want y'all to think that I be on the world's internet looking for these topics, because I swear to God I don't. Don't forget to head over to my website to look at all of the information that I have over on the website. Again, maybe you still want to use it, girl. I don't care. Don't got nothing to do with me. I have a list of like all of the ingredients. Girl, so many freaking ingredients, but I have a list of all of them over on my blog, and all of the different studies that you can go look. And this is the thing, you actually have to read them. Like, you have to read them, and it's a lot to read. Okay? All right.